Does anyone else feel really, really chilly? Welcome back, everybody, to a brand new episode of Tritoncraft. We are out in a frozen ocean, very, very, very far away from home. You can see we've got our little nether portal here. I took a long trip, so we need ice, of course, for our not nether. What am I doing? Ancient city. That's what it is. I know words. Words aren't hard. But yeah, we need ice, of course, for our ancient city racetrack. And while we do have like all the ice cap on top of the mountain and everything like that, and I've cleaned off a good bit of that, I also don't want to completely, like, it's just such a pain, you know, whatever. So I just figured I'd come out to this frozen ocean, very, very far away from home, and I would just slowly but surely whittle away a few of these icebergs. Here's one we started last time I was here, and collect some ice, and then we could take it home. So we're going to spend a little bit of time here collecting up some ice, and then when we're done, I'm going to take you back and show you all of the fun progress that we've made out at the ancient city racetrack. So hit that time lapse. Well, that's the end of that. We're full. Absolutely packed full, although we could actually throw the blue ice in our offhanded at least. That's the inside of my face. Oh, God. Ugh. We could actually collect up like this last like little tiny bit here, but I mean, it is what it is. Like, we can only really carry so much. I mean, not having shulker boxes to do this really hurts, because it takes an eternity to get out here. And then I can literally only fill up my inventory, and that's pretty much it. So, I mean, but at the very least, this makes it a lot easier. I don't have to replace anything out here for the ocean. I don't have to mess with any, like, replacing, like, blocks for the mountain and stuff, because I want to leave that mountain somewhat intact and not make it look completely destroyed for, like, finish the whole entire build. But, you know, it is what it is. But now that we've collected all of our ice, I'm actually going to intentionally leave these things here. Oh, I did fill out my ender chest. My ender chest, I completely emptied it out back at the racetrack, and we've completely packed this thing full of ice. So we've now got tons of ice in here and tons of ice in here, and just a little smattering of blue ice. Although I probably could go knock. I think I saw one when I was down under here. Yeah, there's a little blue ice thing right there on the front end of that little thingy there. You know, there's all sorts of them. That's one of the main reasons why I actually wanted to come here, because of course we can just do the mountain thing and get all the packed ice we're going to need, but the blue ice, like, the return on investment for the packed ice into the blue ice, like 9 blocks, is just not enough for me. Like, it's just crazy to kind of try to do that and just turn it all into blue ice. It's just a lot easier to just have a source of blue ice that you can just tap into and just mine yourself. So it's much easier to just come here and do that. So yeah, these were actually going to leave here. I thought I had left an ender chest and a bed here before, but I actually didn't. But we're going to leave those here, and we're going to step back through to our nether ceiling. Ha! Yes, we have broken through to the nether ceiling. There's actually, that's regular ice, and I just chucked it through the portal, so that way it would not be here anymore. And then we're going to just kind of yeet it back through the portal here, and then it'll just be here waiting for me whenever I come back. This way it's not loaded. I don't have a crafting table out here for some reason, because I'm an idiot. So we don't have a crafting table out here in order to craft it into like packed ice or something like that, which is just kind of is what it is. There's a giant arrow here which is pointing, I believe, to the west, and this actually has our coordinates for our home village portal on top of the nether roof here to 1229 and minus 145. And you can see, if we look at our mini HUD here, we are quite a ways out. And this is, again, nether blocks, 4088 and minus 1842. Gives you an idea. Multiply both of those by 8. It gives you an idea how far away this frozen ocean is. I'd go back through the portal, but I don't want to pick up that ice that I just yeeted through there. So the arrow actually points to a kind of a waypoint. Like, this is just here so that way I remember. But the arrow points to a waypoint, which is due west, and then we can turn southwest from the waypoint to make it the rest of the way there. So this is the fun part. We'll see in a bit. There's our waypoint growing in the distance there. So the frozen ocean is like way east. It's northeast of where the main base is, but it's way more east than it is north. So I basically went northeast from the nether portal, and then once I reached the kind of coordinate I was looking for the northern direction, I added this waypoint and then continued the rest of the journey just straight east to get there. So this is our waypoint here. And you can see we're at 2,700, but we're still at minus 1,850. So this is a full, like, 1,400 blocks to the west from where the portal to the frozen ocean is. And now we've got this little thing here that heads off to the southwest. So we just head in this direction, and this is going to take us all the way home. Oh, finally. Oh. I need something way more identifiable for this actual entrance to the thing. So there's no portal up here. The portal is still down where it normally is, but I just broke through the bedrock up here. This is where we actually found to break through the bedrock. That's just a blank sign. Hang on, I gotta fix this. There we go. Now it is more correct. I put it what way approximately it was, but I couldn't remember exactly where the portal was. Those are the exact coordinates of the portal. So even if you're leaving here in the nether and whatever, you know, you can at least look at the sign and be like, whatever, yeah, I need a more identifiable landmark. Like maybe a big arrow overhead of this thing pointing down at it. What do you think? There, now it's way more obvious. And I can see that from further away. I don't know why I just left this carpet here and be like, oh yeah, no, I'll totally notice this carpet from far away. Like, no, you need the big visual markers and stuff. Obviously, now that we've opened up the nether roof, like I can think about incorporating this into a lot of our different transportation designs and things like that. I got to figure out a better way to travel around up here, though. Unfortunately, it's just not fast enough on foot. I think if we get one of our super horses up here, we can cut this time down significantly riding to this thing, because of course we still don't have Elytra, and I don't know when, if ever, we're actually going to get them. I'm not going to lie. I really, really love this whole no Elytra gameplay, and I'm really loving Tritoncraft just kind of completely without it. And now, if you saw Minecraft Live, and I'm recording this in, you know, late March 2025, if you saw if you saw Minecraft Live, they've now introduced this concept that's going to be coming in the summer, I guess, of this happy ghast that you can get, this dried ghast thing, and you can take it from the nether, take it to the overworld, and then saturate it with water, and it will turn into this baby ghast that you can then grow up, and then you can put a harness on it and you can ride it around. So, like, I can have something that I could use to fly, granted, albeit at a much slower speed. You could use it as, like, an aerial platform to place blocks and stuff like that in the air. And I think that that's a super, super, super cool idea. And once they announced that, I was kind of like, what if we just don't ever get an Elytra in Tritoncraft Season 2? I don't know. Maybe we will eventually someday. I'll tell you what we eventually need to get, though, is we need to get shulker boxes, because this is redonkulous, trying to travel back and forth with all this ice to come and do all this nonsense. But if we come up here, this is the pathway that goes to... I can never remember where this initially goes to. I think this goes to the beach, where I got the coral and stuff like that, and where a long time ago, whatever episode that was, that we took that long journey and we found our camel, that desert and everything like that. That is wherever that goes. So I'm pretty sure, anyway. I honestly can't remember where all this different stuff goes, but you know, we built this little pathway up here to kind of access all that stuff, and I just, you know, found a, like, that the hole that opens up at the nether is basically like right above where the portal is. Well, not right above it. It's, I thought it was. Why did I put it over there? I don't even know. Anyway, back through the hole we go. Back to our beautiful, beautiful village. I tell you what, every time I leave this place for a while, and then I have to come back here to do whatever, I really, really miss this place. And I really, really love it. I really, really love... Hey. Shut up. Stupid zombie. I keep it down there so I can cure villagers eventually whenever I'm going to need to do that again. But I always hear it, and I always think there's monsters somewhere around me. There never are, but that's what I always think anyway. So, all right, I just had to swoop. All right. I'm still really undecided if I want to move this portal up to the nether roof or exactly what I want to do. That's what I built this for. This eventually will be nether roof access that's going to go up there. I pretty much blew through like half a stack of TNT trying to break this bedrock up here, though, and I don't know why I couldn't get it to go. Like, I think it was first shot that I did the one that I got, the nether roof access that I got to before. But, like, I think there's a... Yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure there's the obsidian up here still from the mechanism, the little blow-uppy thingy, you know, where you put the trapdoor and you get to crouch into the trapdoor and spam click the button. I even use an auto-clicker to do that. But for some reason, I can't actually, like, break through the... I think I was trying to break this block right here. In terms of like the bedrock, I can't even remember which one it is, which direction that faces now. But yeah, for whatever reason, I used like a half a stack of TNT. I cannot get a piece of bedrock to break up there, which is really, really annoying. But that's what this is supposed to be, is access to the nether roof from here. But I could just as easily just finally grab these coordinates and just move this portal entirely up on top of our nether roof here. I don't think I actually showed you this. I did. So we talked about the basement access before. Over here in our little race pavilion here, you can get into the basement access here and get into our storage room and all that kind of stuff is in here in the geode. But you can also now just go straight from the portal, take a pathway right down through, voop, and voop, and voop, and boom. And then here we are. There's our ender chest, the original contents of our ender chest before I emptied it all out to collect all this ice. Bam. And actually, I got too much ice to even fit in there, so I don't even know what I'm going to do with the rest of it. But that's okay. We've got space in other chests and stuff like that that we can use. Voop. But this is good, because now this is going to give us much, much more ice that we can then use. And whatever, just throw it in wherever. It's going to get used up in the construction of the track eventually here. But let's actually grab a boat here, and let's take a ride now. We don't need to grab a boat because it's already on the track. Oh, you know what else I need to do? Just in case I die somehow, for some reason. Not that I would, but let's set that spawn. I don't need to be spawning on, you know, way, way out in that frozen ocean again. If I did die for some reason, like I said, I don't know why I would, but you never know. Yeah, there's a piglin that decided to, he's going to take a little trip with us here. So check out the racetrack. Check out what he looks like he's drunk. How much have you had, Mr. Piglin? Yeah, he doesn't want to talk about it. I don't blame him. All right, but let's check out what we've got done here. Head into our big corner here. And, well, I thought I got rid of all these. I think I did that because I was trying to measure it at some point. Maybe? I don't even know. And we're going to be heading into the new section of the track we've got coming up here. There's lights on this piece of the track, too. This turns actually a bit wider. And oh, right. I forgot there's a beacon in the way here. This turns actually a bit wider here. You can actually see this is 8 blocks across instead of 6. I think we may widen this one out here as well. It just helps to have more room to maneuver in these different sections. I forgot I put all these lights all over the track. So I had to, you know, I was staying in a hotel recently. And so I took my laptop with me because I wanted to continue Tritoncrafting from the hotel and move my save file and stuff over to the thing. But I don't have like any of the shaders or anything fancy on that. So I had to spam lights everywhere because I couldn't see anything. Like in this, at least, you know, I put the lights in the offhand and I can see a little bit better when I'm doing mining and stuff like that. And the shaders make it a lot better. But all right, I need this boat, so you need to beat it, my guy. Yeah, I forgot that I left that thing there. But we continue down straight through here. There's a big wide turn right here, but it does turn kind of quick. And then we go through. This is a natural structure that's generated here in the ancient city. I didn't realize we were going to come this close to it, so I decided to change the course of the racetrack slightly to actually go through it because I really, really love it. And I cleared out like the rest of the walkway, and there we go. We just reached our end of our pathway there. Yeah, so this is a natural structure that does generate within the ancient city here, and I'm super interested in building onto this and adding like maybe more of a structure off of this. I completely removed all the rest of the little hallway kind of stuff, except for this piece. I just really like that for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know what I would put there. And we've actually got to figure out kind of what we're going to do with all this stuff in here. But this pathway as well is much wider. You can see how wide all this is kind of coming through here. And I really, really love it. We once again have gotten, every single time I put a frickin' beacon down, I then immediately go out of the range of the beacon. So we're once again in territory over here where there is no beaconage. We've cleaned out a whole bunch of the stuff that's rocking and rolling over here. There's time-lapse footage of all this that you'll see eventually, but like with everything that's going on in my life right now, like I just do not have like the kind of time that I would really, really need to render all of that time-lapse footage and make it so you can see all that different time-lapse footage and everything. So I do apologize for that, but I promise, like, as soon as I'm able to, probably toward the end, probably like once we go for like a full total reveal of the entire racetrack, like I'll probably do a super cut of all the time-lapse footage that I have and show you like all the destruction, all the block removal, all the track construction, kind of making its way through here. There are also, I noticed this when I was building this thing, there are an absolute ton of skulk shriekers over here. Look at this. There's 3 there, there's 1 there, there's another one there. There's tons of them over here. So this is going to be Warden Central down here when the racetrack is actually running, because there's so many different shriekers that you can activate. And we're going to have sensors, of course, all down through these areas and everything like that. It's going to be super, super cool. From here, our racetrack is going to go into this wall here for a brief tunnel. Let me out. There we go. And then it is going to come out, you know, a brief tunnel through there. And then it is going to spit out right here. And this is kind of that S-curve piece that we looked at on the map design when we first designed the track here. It'll go straight down through here, all the way down through here. All the way down through here. It's going to continue straight through here. We've got to just basically clean up all this stuff in here. Oh, look, I hit a beacon. And then we're going to turn, and we're going to take a left-hand turn here. And it's going to go up through here. It's going to come straight up this way, follow basically the pathway that this thing goes here. And then once we get to there, it's going to go ahead and turn this way whoop, and start making its way down through this way here. And then we'll enter our final tunnel section down here. Actually, no, I don't think it is the final tunnel section. But we'll do a tunnel section over here. There's a whole bunch of lava I got to get rid of and everything like that. And then the tunnel section is going to kind of cross underneath all this different area up here. Ow. Where's the spawner that I found? I found a spider spawner somewhere. Where was it? I think it's up here somewhere. Ah, it's right here. And so this is our main drag area over here. So again, we want to make this come back down toward the big mouth. You know, the big baby mouth that we've got down there. All this stuff needs to be removed from here as well. But basically, that's going to be our last big loop. Is you're going to have the track come all the way down through here, and it's going to go all the way through over here. We may skirt along the outer edges of this ancient city, like maybe the track could be half exposed, like just peeking out here. So we're kind of going by these buildings here. I think we might do that. So we're going to have a couple of really pretty tight turns at the end of each one of these things, which is why I'm thinking about doing wider turns. The boat just does not turn well enough into the 6-block wide tunnels. I wish it did, but it just doesn't. So we're kind of having to adapt a little bit as we go and widen out more of the tunnels and things like that. This is kind of the perfect project to do at the point in my life that I'm at right now, though. Like, I just don't have time to dedicate to a whole lot of anything other than just destruction and just absolutely mowing my way through all of the blocks and things like that to actually lay down the track foundation. So, you know, with moving and with packing and with everything else, like I just have not had a lot of time to do anything really super creative or anything that's going to require literally a shred of my brain power. But even this, like even being as wide as it is, like you still get held up in there. Unfortunately, I mean, there's just nothing you can do in certain areas. Like once the whole track is done and we practice our drift techniques, maybe we'll be able to get to some points where we'll actually be able to do a little bit wider. But I think this gives you more of a chance with the track being wider like this. It gives you more of a chance to start that drift move. If we come in and we go like so, and we just kind of slowly start taking that turn, and then you could almost like start like, because the turn is so tight, and that's what a lot of those turns on the future sections are going to be. They'll probably be even more narrow than this. Like it'll literally be like, it'll probably come in and then whoop, it's almost right back out. So it's going to not be as big as this turn here is. So you'll probably honestly be able to just have one big ice patch. Like almost the turn wouldn't even be defined, if that makes sense. And kind of take that whole big drift move to slide into the corner, and then you're automatically facing forward for once you clear the blocks on the side of the tunnel to actually start down the next straightaway. Bam, you're gonna be hitting right there. So that's all I wanted to show you from the Ancient City racetrack, and there's not really going to be anything else happening here except more digging and more track placing. So I don't think we're going to come back here before the end of the video. This is going to be the end of this series as far as videos recorded in Ithaca go. So, I mean, obviously Tritoncraft Season 2 is not going to end anytime soon. We've got way too many active projects that we're currently working on that I really want to finish. But this is going to be the last video that will be released while I'm living here in Ithaca. I get my keys as of recording date, and this isn't even, you know, by the time you all watch this, it'll be imminent. But, you know, this should come out on what is Saturday the 29th. So I get my keys in 2 days as of you watching this, if you're watching it on release day. So I'll be so busy moving and getting everything in my new place, getting everything set up and everything like that, that, you know, it just kind of is what it is. Like, we just have to do what we have to do, you know? So yeah, this will be it for Tritoncraft episodes from here in Ithaca. So I wanted to do one more thing here while we're running around in this space here today, and you know, just one more thing before we say goodbye. I'll join you in a bit. Okay, so we just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and then there it is, the kind of collected work that we've completed on the village. And like I said, it's as good a time as any. I'm going to be, you know, moving here in a couple of weeks, and this will be the last episode that we're going to be recording in this office here, and everything like that. So it's you know, this map is kind of representative of all the work that we've done. I mean, obviously I've done other work elsewhere, but you know, of all the work that we've done here in the village, you know, in this entire series, which was, you know, born and developed and played entirely in this space. So, you know, it's kind of important for me to recognize all that. And, you know, I mean, the last time I did this was November, and I said I wanted to do it every 3 months, I think. So I would have had to do it in February. I just never got around to it, unfortunately, because kind of everything was unraveling, and like I was trying to sort out like everything that was going to be going on. But I mean, obviously, even compared to November, if we take a look here, you know, versus over here, if we see just the absolute difference here. Of course, we built our beautiful horse stables and our big, you know, horse track and the outdoor picnic area and all that kind of fun stuff over there. Our little bridges and everything like that. Our barn there and whatnot. Our orange grove that we've got rocking and rolling in there. All that stuff has been new since November. Why is this green in this one, but it's yellow in this one? Maybe I just replanted it or something like that. I'm telling you what, this field is super frustrating because I've got villagers here, so cats keep spawning in here, and then cats run all over this wheat and kind of constantly pop it off of there. That's why there's a bunch of them that aren't grown in there. But yeah, maybe that must be it. Same thing with that one too. Maybe I just cleaned it and just replanted it. And of course, I mean, the other thing, aside from the buildings there, which, you know, I mean, we didn't have any more buildings other than my house and the barn in this one here. Obviously, now we've got much more. And there's part of a cartographer house there. That's that old design with the terracotta that I really didn't like. Now we've got, you know, several houses there, although most of them aren't occupied. Cartographer's house, obviously, of course, is done. But, you know, then we also have our bridge and our eastern pathway that goes over to the continent to the east and then continues up the hill. And I didn't know how far this was going to go. That's why we added in this second map up here. I mean, I know this one, like, especially this one here, like, there's nothing on this. Like, there's literally nothing I've built on that. But I wanted it to be a perfect square, and I didn't want to leave that one. I didn't want to leave that one out. What in the world did I just... Good Lord. Stop it. But yeah, I mean, that's... I mean, I wish these were more centered, so I didn't have to have the 4 maps and stuff. I had to move these ones over, and I had to move the November ones over here because I don't have enough room for this 8 map here. But these are all, of course, locked, and this will be, you know, telltale for our next progress step that we do here. It's just kind of amazing, like, especially when I look at this here. Like, this was our original village here. I kind of wish I can only do it in creative mode. Like, I could open up the fresh template of this world in creative mode and go back and pull a map of like what the village and what the whole area looked like before I did anything. I mean, obviously I don't have that, but I mean, even this, like, you know, I mean, obviously the walls are still just a sketch and everything like that. But everything else that we've done here, like the only other thing that's in that print right there is the barn. And just look at what we've done since. Like, I mean, that's a remarkable amount of work that has gone into, and that's, like I said, we've got the ocean monument that we also did. That's a whole huge thing. Our ancient city that we're turning into a racetrack, that's a whole different thing. And kind of all the other little bits and bobs that we've done throughout the world. It's a pretty lived in world for, God, when did we start this? August, I think. So, you know, we're over the 6-month mark now, and you know, steaming as quickly as we can toward a year. Oh man, I just love this so much, and I love that pathway and that bridge kind of continuing out, and that really doesn't even kind of show you like all the amazing blocks and everything like that went into building that whole bridge. But yeah, we now have another one of our maps completed, although I don't know where we'd put another one. In there where the camel is, maybe, if we have to expand it out anymore. I don't know where else we would expand, though, because I don't have any plans to build anything necessarily over to the east there. And I don't necessarily... Well, I did actually have a couple plans to build something further south of where the village is now, and another pathway kind of extending out of the village, because we have that one exit from the village kind of right there, just next to the barn where I am here. If you go basically straight south, there's a pathway that comes out of the village right there next to where that wheat field is, up behind on the hill up behind where the animal pen is, right here. This is going to be a pathway, and this is going to be one of the openings in our wall that you can actually come out to. There's actually going to be a pathway it continues around here, but then you're going to be able to go somewhere in here. I haven't decided exactly where it's going to go yet, but somewhere in here there's going to be a pathway that's going to cut to the south. And go, I don't know where. I haven't figured out exactly where I'm going to build what I'm thinking about building down there. More on that in the future. Obviously, we don't want to talk about it now because it's just not a thing. But yeah, so that's going to be it for this one. I know this was a super short episode. Again, I know we really didn't do a whole lot except for dig up a whole bunch of ice and run across the nether roof. And then, of course, make some maps and everything like that. But like I said, I just don't have the time or the bandwidth to do a lot of stuff right now. Like once I get moved and once I get settled into my new place, not only will videos kind of pick up pace, but I also plan to resume streaming, not only from this world in Tritoncraft, but obviously doing other stuff too. So make sure you subscribe to me. The link's down below for my Twitch channel at Nikoli's Kitchen, twitch.tv/Nikoli's Kitchen. So make sure you check that out because we will be resuming streaming once we get that kind of going. And I mean, yeah, another amazing set of progress here that we can kind of catalog in this map, which I really love. That got way too close to my face. I was trying to go for like a really cool, now the camel's in it. Oh my goodness gracious. But anyway, thank you so much everybody for watching. I really appreciate you taking the time. Do all the fun YouTubey stuff. It really does help me a lot. I'm just hitting buttons here like crazy. I don't even know what I'm doing. Trying to get that stupid anvil picked up there. But you know, I love your beautiful faces. I appreciate all of your amazing support on this series and everything, and I do apologize again for kind of the lack of videos and everything like that, but you know, life is changing big time for me, so it is what it is. I love you beautiful faces. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.